everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Blended Sense Walk and Talk. I'm your host, Albert Baez. Today, we're walking in Central Austin in the beautiful Mueller Lake Park, and I am so excited about today's guest. She is amazing, a writer, a TV, radio producer, a product developer, a founder, an amazing resource for all founders and entrepreneurs. And today's guest is Jeannie Edmunds, and oh my gosh, here she is.
Hey.
Hello.
Good to see you.
How are you? Good to see you. Amazing. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks.
So happy to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Jeannie, thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
The goal of today really is to leave our viewers, which are small business owners, entrepreneurs, founders, inspired to go out there and get it. And I think you're a perfect person to do that. I know you have a book coming out, so I can't wait to talk about that.
Thank you.
But before we get into it, can you please give us an introduction? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, I've been working with startup companies for the last 10 years. Probably worked with 100 companies, either as a mentor or as an advisor. And you're talking about wanting to inspire other people. They inspire me. All of the founders of these startup companies, they're so brave. It's not easy to take this journey, this entrepreneurial journey. There's bumps in the road along the way. There's everything from product problems to problems with the team to, looking for money. Everybody's looking for money. But they persist, and they know that 90 out of 100 startups fail, and they still do it. And so that's why I love it. I get a lot of joy out of helping these startup companies.
It's amazing. I know we've benefited from sitting with you and getting your advice and you hearing us out. You have a book that's out now.
Yes.
Right? It's all over digital.
Yes.
Can you get hard copies as well?
You can. You can buy it on Amazon. It's going to be in Barnes & Noble soon and other independent bookstores and so forth.
And what's the name of the book?
It's called Start Me Up, Tips, Tales, and Truths about starting up and starting over.
Yes.
And I see those as two different things.
Oh, yeah.
Starting up is starting fresh. You're learning to play a musical instrument. You're starting a company. Starting over is when life has kind of knocked you back, either from a divorce or you move to another country as an immigrant, for example. You're starting fresh. I mean, imagine all the people who start companies who come here with $100 in their pocket, and they start. I was just reading the other day about the guy who started Sriracha. The Sriracha company. Yeah. Oh my gosh, he never took a dime of investment.
Wow.
He did everything by himself, went into every store and placed the product himself, and still owned 100% of the company.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I want to drill in a little bit on the startup versus starting over.
Yes.
I've learned very quickly in my time as an entrepreneur, was this 2 years now, that mindset is a big player.
Completely.
Daily success, weekly success, monthly, quarterly, yearly.
Yep.
But the starting up and the starting over, it's two very different mindsets.
Yes.
Right? So maybe walk us a little bit through the difference mindset there between startup and starting over, and who these people are that are falling into either startup or starting over.
I think that if you're starting over, you've lost some confidence, because life has knocked you down with whatever it is.
Yep.
Starting up, you're fresh, you're eager, you've got an idea, it's an invention, a product, a service, and you're anxious to get started. You just want, it's a creation. It's almost like an artist. So you're bringing something into the world, birthing it new. So there's a lot of excitement around that, and a lot of passion, enthusiasm, like you guys had when you started Blended Sense. Starting over, both of them require a lot of courage. I think starting over probably requires more, obviously, right?
For sure. I love that. And so
and some people, by the way, some people think they don't have courage. Some people think that they will never find it, but there's always a way to find it. Everybody has it in them. Just like we always have an inner child in us. And we all have that inner strength, that part of us that was in there before life ever did anything to us to give us any doubts, either your parents or teachers or, business, jobs that you've had that have, maybe you've gotten fired,
Yeah.
maybe things have been bad with a coworker or something.
I have
Rebirth.
a chorus that Abby wrote that I cannot wait for her to produce.
Oh.
She'd kill me if I was saying it to
Oh,
y'all,
yeah.
but it goes, water wash right down to my soul. Let it clean me right to my bones. Can't fight the past, can't go back. Regret it, forget it, let it go. She
That's
sings
it.
it much better than I do.
Get out.
but-
That's so great.
It's
But
beautiful.
that is an anthem for people who need the courage to start over and you have to learn how to let stuff go.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
true.
That's it.
That is true. You can't have regrets.
Mhm.
You can't have anger.
Mhm.
You can't have anything that's going to hold you back, because plenty of other things will hold you back. You can't hold yourself
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
It's like you have to be your own best friend.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
also have to be your own supporter and cheerleader when you're starting a company.
I agree. Let's talk a little bit about loneliness in business, because you just said, your own cheerleader, your best friend. It's lonely to start a business,
Yes.
and it's hard. And I know finding mentors and finding people that'll support you is a big part of success, in my opinion. So let's talk a little bit about when you're feeling those feelings of loneliness, when you feel alone and you have to persevere. What are ways that you've gotten yourself out of those? Because I've read all of your experience.
You have? You read the whole thing?
I have.
Oh my gosh.
I've read your.
And we're still here? And you still want to do the
Well,
video?
There's
I'm
no
shocked.
better person, I thought, to talk about perseverance
Yeah.
and getting back up than
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Because you've had a lot of challenges.
I have.
I'm sure you felt alone
Yeah.
sometimes, right?
Yeah.
What got you through that? Guess what? What did you remind yourself of?
Well, I was bullied when I was a child. It was terrible. And it went on through elementary school, all through elementary school. And my mother told me to just ignore it. And that was terrible advice, because words are very hurtful to people. And it's true as adults.
Yep.
And sometimes adults act like children. Sometimes even in the workplace, people act. This is part of the reason people start companies. They don't want to deal with the BS,
Yeah.
in corporate America. So, in my case and other things that have, knocked me down in my life, somebody died, somebody's in rehab, is really, but everybody has their stuff, And I think in my case, I was born with the opposite of anxiety. For some reason, I'm like super mellow. I don't know why. I think, and also super happy. My father was an extremely happy, friendly man. And I think I got that from him. Always positive. He'd stick his hand in he'd shake somebody's hand and he'd say, "How are you, Jim? Terrific, really great, can't complain at all." That's what he always said, can't complain at all. Never had any complaints. And I feel like I inherited that from him, and that's lucky. And we're all either messed up by our parents or helped by our parents, So that's the beginning of your sense of confidence in life. And your sense of confidence as an entrepreneur either comes from trying to overcome what was done to you as a child, by your parents, or a sense of confidence that you already have that your parents have given you, For example, Dave, my honey. Now, he was the little prince. His parents, he could do no wrong,
Yeah.
In my case, I was one of 4 kids, so I was pretty much ignored. Even though I was the oldest kid, I was kind of on my own.
Oh.
So you really have to develop some leadership skills, and you have to be your own leader, You have to lead yourself.
I love that. And I think one thing I just got from everything you just said is that although you may feel alone in that the things are yours and they're heavy at times, you're not alone in that everyone is going through some version of that.
Everybody is. You never know what people are going through. That's why my number one thing is being kind to people, being, thoughtful, empathetic. So that singer Michael Franti, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he did an album during the pandemic. And the title of the album was Work Hard, Be Kind. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to be kind to the people around you. Investors have to be kind to companies. Sometimes investors can be very brutal and push back on people when they're giving the valuation of their company or something, and they don't mean to be, but it's really hard. You're exposing yourself. It's like having a child, You're very vulnerable as a founder.
Yeah,
and
very much
I think it's really important for everybody, and also your team, everybody you hire. Don't hire jerks, life is too short to work with mean people with agendas that are not aligned with your mission. I think that that's my golden rule for myself and
work
for
hard and
all
be
of my
kind.
companies. Yeah, work hard, be kind.
Be kind. I love that. We our number one value is empathy at Blended Sense.
Yes.
And we hire to those values. Back to your point, right? I think founders sometimes maybe feel lonely and feel like they need someone, and they rush to bring someone in. And it's not the right fit.
And what happens often is founders will hire a friend, and then it gets really sticky because sometimes the friend is not a good fit once the company starts getting bigger, and it's hard to get the friend out of the company at that point. It's just as important who you keep off the bus as who you let on, right? Because you have to be really discriminating in the beginning. Oh, wait, the ice cream. Albert, will you buy me an ice cream?
I think he's
Please.
been in. I think he has been in a video. With
he has been in a video. Okay.
Oh, this is a beautiful setting, though.
Oh, look at that look at what they're doing over there. Oh, this is. Come on. That
so nice.
Is gorgeous.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. I love Austin. I'm so happy to be back in Austin.
Yeah.
I went to school here, worked in the Capitol. It's been a long time. Been around the world since then, and it's really nice to be back.
It's amazing.
It's an incredible startup community here in Austin.
I'm from New York City, and it's competitive.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what right? It's the grind, competitive, work your way up. And I got to Austin, everybody was willing to collaborate in such a meaningful way.
Yes.
Right? Not just like, oh yeah, I can help, but like really be there and show up.
Show up for
and
you.
That's super cool.
I'm amazed at what you guys have done, honestly.
Thank you.
In such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Really made some good decisions, smart decisions. Of course, you had some great mentors too.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
That was a blessing. I think what we were able to do is fail fast with the know that we had people behind us to support us, and that weren't going to put us down for those mistakes, but actually build us up from them. And we've been able to start over so many times within the business.
But it's tricky, the kind of business that you did, because there's so many people out there with cameras these days, not professional like your people, obviously, but everybody with a cell phone has got cameras, and they all think they're videographers now. Everybody's writing now. You know how much they pay for writers now? It's like for a blog post is like $20. The value of created content has gone down, and so anybody who can create content that has a message and a purpose in it, that's the difference. And that's how you guys were successful. That you did something with a business purpose to it, and a mission also. I mean, obviously what you're doing, from what I understand, is you're going into companies and figuring out what their goal is and what their mission is, and then customizing it to them.
100%.
And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Who's doing that? Nobody.
And no one's doing it for the small business owner who has those stories to tell.
Heck yeah. And during the pandemic, my gosh. And, trying to get attention for your business. I mean, I've done a lot of SKU products, grocery store products, CPG products. And there are 40,000 to 50,000 products in every grocery store. Imagine trying to scream your product off the shelf, and everybody gets all excited. They get their, product into HEB. That's only half the battle. Yeah. You got to get it off the shelf. You got to get people to buy it, you know, and try it. And during the pandemic, nobody could taste it. There were no samplings.
Yeah, we've been so fortunate. We helped a local company here. They were with us for 2 years. Cocina 54, one of our most, literally first customers ever.
Yeah.
And they were expanding and getting into different HEBs. And so we were able to tailor their story, not just at the macro level, but micro to every community that they were opening, that they were getting their empanadas in. So,
that's fantastic.
Hey, Portland, Cocina 54 here. We just got into Wegmans at, XYZ.
Fantastic. What? I didn't know you were doing that. I need to tell some people about that. That's good. That's good. You good. You lucky.
Well,
I'm a mentor with a big mouth, so I will be talking about you.
Oh, you're the best.
I'll be talking about you.
You know, one thing I appreciate from the conversations we've had, what Abigail, our Chief Creative Officer and co-founder, said about you is that very down to earth. You keep it 100, as the kids say, right? And that's so refreshing in the startup world and the business world, because a lot of, as you mentioned earlier in our walk, investors and VCs, sometimes they have an agenda. And they can be a little crude and cold. And as a founder, being vulnerable and pitching all day long, you run into 10 crude, cold people, you're gonna feel pretty down.
But also, I think that part of my job is to be supportive and to try to be the wind beneath your wings. And
well, that's what you do well, though. You're able to give direct feedback in a way that's helpful and builds me up rather than makes me feel bad.
To be supportive, that's so, I don't understand why people can't do that. You know, I'm a little weird, though. I'm not the usual mentor because, you know, I don't come from I've worked in corporations, but I don't come from a corporate background. I think that what I have discovered is that I need to do as much startup therapy for founders as practical advice, because half of it is just giving them the courage helping them find their own courage. 100%. So it's, you know, it's helping them remember who they are, remember why they got into this, and also the other thing that's been happening to me lately, this is going to sound really weird, but I feel like I'm getting, you know, messages. When I see somebody, you know, I feel like, okay, I know what you need to do. This. Now, is that coming from my experience or am I channeling that? I don't know. Maybe I'm a vessel. Maybe I'm a psychic. Maybe I'm the startup psychic. And half the time I also feel like the startup yenta, because I see a plug and a socket, and I want to put them together. Just like I sent Mitch to you the other day. You know, I want to see people who are good working with each other. That's beautiful. 1 + 1 = 3, you know?
That's amazing. I think you touched on something we've been talking about this whole conversation, is the mindset. And how founders, business folks just need more support there. We, you know, this is probably the first time we're saying this on camera, but we as a C-level team just hired someone to personally walk us through conversations, right? And we're hitting this hyper growth stage where we are now divide and conquer. And that can be great, but it can also, you know, feel removed. I feel a little bit more removed from Abby and from Georgie, right? In the business. And so the fact, you know, we were able to identify quickly, hey, we need somebody else to come in here and talk through different things that we're experiencing at the C level for the first time. Right up to this point, it's been in the trenches, battling and like together. And now it's like divide and conquer. Go run your wing. Go run this wing.
And like, you know what, honey? It's not as much fun.
No.
When it gets to that point, it's not as much fun. And then the more you grow, the less fun it gets, because it's fun when it's 3, 4, 5 people. Then it gets to 10 people, then 50, then suddenly, you know, and you're giving up a lot of control. So there's a lot of trust that has to happen on your part. So that even more important, that you bring in somebody you can trust to do that part of it. But you have to move to the 30,000 foot view at this point. You can't be in the trenches anymore because you've only got 24 hours in a day.
Amen to that. Absolutely. Well, this is such a pleasure. I'm so excited for you, for the book.
Thank you.
I have it myself. I'm on my way.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
What would you like to leave our audience with today? How can they find you, contact you, if somebody wanted to reach out?
Startupjeannie@gmail.com.
That easy. Startupjeannie@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm on LinkedIn, and I think that's probably the easiest way, is to reach me through Gmail or Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. You know, I lost my Twitter account. Do you know this 2-factor authentication? Can I just complain about that for a minute? I lost my Twitter account because I changed my phone number. Do you think Twitter will give you any help? No.
Oh, no.
Big tech. Let's complain about big tech now. Let's just be like everybody else, complain about big tech. I mentor through the Capital Factory in Austin, SKU in Austin, and Expert Dojo in Los Angeles.
Amazing. And you have an Instagram.
I have an Instagram. It's also Startup Jeannie. It's not very good, but it's Startup Jeannie.
Well, you have DMs there, though.
Yeah, I can do DMs. Yeah, exactly.
And then LinkedIn?
And LinkedIn, yes. My name, I think, is Jeannie Edmunds.
I think it comes up as
Jeannie Edmunds. Yeah. I went back. Oh, this is a little confusing. I've had several names. I was Jeannie Edmunds when I was born. Married someone named Apostle, so I was Jeannie Apostle. Then I was Jeannie Ring. And I went back to Jeannie Edmunds. So now I'm in Edmunds.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your time tonight. I'm so
you.
excited for you in the future.
Thank you so
and
much.
I appreciate everything you've done for us already.
Oh, are you kidding? Thank you so much. I'm so honored that you would even think to talk to me and interview me. I appreciate it.
And walk with you.
And walk with me. Walk with me and talk with me. Yeah, thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Until next time, remember to get up, get outside, take a walk, and boost your creativity. And as Jeannie said, you are brave and courageous for starting your business, and you are not alone.